But Imam Zaynul Abideen said that, and I can bear witness that you are not from a third segment of people, الذين جاءوا من بعدهم يقولون ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا. Another ayah that says, O Allah, forgive us and forgive those who have preceded us in their commitment to you. And do not place any ill feelings in our hearts for those who are committed. And then he said, now you can leave. And you belittle Islam, and you don't seem to portray the behavior of those who are responsible Muslims. Obviously I'm paraphrasing all this, but this is one of these encounters that gives us a flavor of some of the dynamics that were at the time when Imam Zayd was born.
Can I ask you a question now?
It's up to you. It's up to you. It doesn't matter with me. Some people, they prefer the questions be withheld until the end. I personally don't care.
Okay, I'll wait till the end.
Just you can jot it down. Just don't forget it. Okay, so Imam Zayd more or less was born in a time period where there was obviously a very tense social polarization. There were some people who felt very strongly about what can be called in some people's language a defeat at Karbala, and they somehow felt that something should be done about this. So they would go to the imams and begin to express themselves in ways that are not accurate, such as is the case with the ones that we have just spoken about. During the time, I'll leave this until the end. I don't want to. I'll go back to the political atmosphere. I'm just right now trying to build a little for you the social atmosphere that was around. So Imam Zayd was born in Al-Medinah at the time. That was the meeting center of the different very committed and very sincere types of Muslims from whatever background they may have belonged to. His father was a very generous father, a very scholarly father, one though that was given to a side of the emotionalism that was in his life because of the developments in Karbala. Of course, comes from the immaculate, if we may use that word, bloodline of the Prophet. His father was Zainul Abideen, a very popular person in Al-Medina, and a very what you may say generous person towards the lower classes, if we can use that word, in Al-Medina. The grandfather of Imam Zayd was Imam Al-Hussein, who was considered the father of the Shuhada. His great-grandfather was Imam Ali, who was also a man of a military nature in the history of Islam, the person that the Prophet referred to as the entrance to the city of knowledge, وَعَلِيٌّ بَابُهَا. Ali is the great-grandfather of Zayd, who is known to have been the most judicious of the Sahaba. and he is the one who became the Prophet's brother in the social fraternization that took place in Al-Medinah during the first year or two in Al-Medinah. So we said that Imam Zayd was born around the year 80, and most of the historical accounts say that he died in the year 122. He was brought up in Al-Medinah, and we said this is the city of the Prophet, the city of where the scholars came to meet, the city in which the Sahaba were concentrated, and most of the Tabi'een. And when things would get, when the social condition in Iraq would deteriorate, you'd find a movement of people from Iraq to Al-Madinah. And when the condition also in Sham became unstable, many people would leave for Al-Madinah. Al-Madinah became, look, notice it wasn't Mecca, it was Al-Madinah that was to become a magnet for many of the Muslims who felt uneasy in the conditions that they were in during that specific time. So he was brought up in what you may consider to be a prophetic household, a household that belonged in more than one way to the Prophet. It is said that on his mother's side, his mother's, let me explain this because I had to work this out myself in these books. His mother is said to be from Sind. Sind is in the Indian subcontinent. She, of course, married, or Imam Zaynul Abideen married her. Now, I don't know, you can get, caught up in a lot of things, so I didn't really go about opening the books because this also takes a lot of time to see whether Imam Zaynul, I don't know if you know this information, maybe you can help us out. If Imam Zaynul Abideen was married to more than one, I don't know, I didn't come across that information. It could be, it's possible that was the case. I just didn't come across it, so I can't say that was the case. But in this particular instance, the mother of Imam Zayd, the wife of Imam Zaynul Abideen, was from Sind. Of course, in the nature of the Arab nationalism at that time, we're going to see that how this had an impact, at least on one occasion.
Can I ask you, which book was this in? When you said are you from the Al-Muhajirin?
These are taken from Al-Kamil of Ibn Al-Athir and from Muruj al-Dhahab, these two books. Al-Kamil, most of this is taken from the history book called Al-Kamil by Ibn Al-Athir. It's written it's in the Abbasi times, about 100 years after the time we're speaking about.
Kamil by
Ibn Al-Athir. These are all quote-unquote mainstream history books. Deal with the ones that are on this side.
It's not in English, yes?
I don't think it's in English.
When you say Al-Kamil is a recognized book, is it recognized?
Al-Kamil.
Al-Kamil?
Right.
Is it recognized, it's sort of recognized by everyone?
That's right.